What's up, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Bricks and Toys. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about February and what comes from Lego. Well, I can tell you guys, it's 5 or 6, maybe 6, 7-ish sets to talk about. Not a big deal. Maybe a little bit, if you consider that this is a new lineup of sets from a new franchise. We'll talk more about that later. Really briefly, we have some new toys. The majority of this video is going to be discussion, talking. And what are we talking about? Well, we're going to talk about, for one, our well-being. How are we doing? And such. But the big thing is, we're going on our 3rd year of YouTube. Well, going towards our 4th year. We just finished out our 3rd year. However you want to math the math. And I want to talk about that with you guys today. What is it like doing 3 years of Lego YouTube without really any support other than family and stuff? And what happened with my support that I had when I started this channel? Some of you guys may know that I used to have a big old Lego city and I lived in a decent tan washed house in the desert, and now I'm in a dining room in an apartment. Well, let's start talking about that. But before we do, let's talk about toys, because that's something that we don't really touch too much in here on the channel. You guys watch me do Lego reviews, you guys see the channel name, Bricks and Toys, and you guys are kind of thinking, well, he's sure full of bricks, but is he full of toys? And the answer is, I just don't film it. Like, anytime I do anything with toys and I upload it, it doesn't go anywhere. Maybe I can do a TikTok something or another this year about my toy findings. You know what? That's actually probably a good idea. I should probably do that. But as far as YouTube content, that kind of gets left behind. So maybe later on in the year, I could start doing that with my TikTok and Instagram. But we do toys, not just bricks on the channel. With things going in the right succession, bricks. I want to announce to you guys probably already know, we have officially started getting paper poly bags. And I don't know how I feel about these. Now, the prices of these are the same, $4.99, at least at my local Target. We have what looks to be a 4-cylinder hot rod Technic car. I kind of thought it looked cool, wanted to pick it up because paper poly bag. And if you're going to buy a paper poly bag, you want to buy something that you at least somewhat like. And this is set number 30735 with 83 pieces. And then we got the new yearly Star Wars poly bag, which is a tie advanced with 68 pieces, set number 30727. And both of these look actually really freaking cool, but they're the new paper bags. And it is such a trip to see a poly bag now in paper. Is it a poly paper bag or plastic? It's not plastic no more, I can tell you that. But it's cool because now you can stand up your poly bags and display them in front of the camera. Awesome. So I want to share those with you guys. If you guys have not seen these and you're interested in them, maybe your local Target has them like mine did, and maybe Lego has them too. But they're out. Paper poly bags now. What a trip, guys. Now, speaking of what a trip, toys. And today, when I picked up those poly bags, I happened to find 2 things. One thing I didn't even know existed, and one thing I gave up almost immediately trying to find. I am a huge F1 fan, as you guys probably know from all the Technic builds we've done, and Lego builds with the Speed Champions in the last year. And I found out that this Durago brand, or Durago Borrego, however you say their name, they did a die-cast metal kit car that you can build yourself of, I think, Ferrari, McLaren, and Red Bull, and maybe Mercedes. I know they had the first 3 at my Target when I went there today. And this was the only one that they had of the RB19, which was a really successful car for Red Bull that year. It broke an unbelievable amount of records and won an unbelievable amount of races that season. But yeah, $20. It's got tires, metal parts. It's a model car, to say the least. And I don't know if I'm going to build it, but I definitely wanted to have it for the collector's value because I've got these Borrego, Durago, B Durago, whatever you want to call them, cars, in every other way. I've got them in the little, I've got them in the bigger, I've got them in the biggest, and I just didn't have any in a model form, and now I do. So pretty cool stuff there. And one that caught me by surprise was this Jada. Now, Jada's been making these Fast and Furious and other movies and diecast kind of cars, but they finally left the first Fast and Furious movie and they went to a different Fast and Furious movie. They went to the Tokyo Drift and they chose the garage. We have the Nissan Silvia and the Mitsubishi Lancer as our first two cars to go in this garage. It is so freaking cool. It's basically Han's garage, and yeah, ain't that something? Again, 20 bucks, had to pick it up. So I did end up spending $50 in toys today. Didn't mean to do that, but sometimes when you find one of each of these on the shelf, maybe a couple of these, you got to pick them up because people are picking them up too. And that's going to be our segue. Let's get into 3 years of YouTube, some secrets, and money. Because I know people love to have their opinions on a lot of this stuff, and I just like to say how wrong I'm doing so opinionated people can leave a comment down below. So basically, 3 years to the date, in 2023, on my 32nd birthday or right thereafter, I started the Bricks and Toys YouTube channel. I started with the Land Speeder and the 1969 Camaro. And from there, it's been a whirlwind. After 3 years, I feel like I finally want to tell you guys the truth. In 2022, I lost my stepdad. I thought maybe I could step in and help my mom's out. My mom just inherited a lot from her past husband. These are all things I've said in my early videos on the YouTube channel. So we moved in, and I promised to take care of her house, take care of her and anything she needs done while she goes out and she continues to live the life that she decided to live with her now past husband. So as all good things that come to an end start off with, everything started off just peachy. I did end up not being able to continue my job. Thus, I came up with the concocted idea to do YouTube. And my mom thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I felt like I was getting back in close with my mom. I felt like my mom was turning over a new leaf. The problem here is my mom was up to some other stuff behind the scenes that was not very good. And I'm not going to disclose what that is, but it's the kind of thing that does make you lose a house and all of your money. That is where we all went wrong at. I did try to coach my mom. I did try to get her to slow down. I did try everything I could try, but at the end of the day, you just can't help everybody. And that's where everything started to go wrong. By the summer of 2024, which is only a year and a half of doing the channel, I had to start selling off the giant Lego city I started with. And if you guys are new to the channel, go back a few clicks. I think there's a playlist about that. Should check it out. Awkward videos, but a really cool Lego city to check out nonetheless. Summer 2024, things started to start slowing down. I started having to sell things off. That way, we could now move out of the house that my mom lost. And that's how I wound up in Sacramento. And that's why the channel, if you guys are long-term subscribers, doesn't do everyday videos no more. It was never my intention in the very beginning to do the content like it was in the beginning when we were doing videos every single day. I felt that my mom was spending a ridiculous amount of money on Lego to sustain the channel. I tried to tell her several times to stop, to slow down, to think about it, to which she said, "I'm the adult, I'll do what I want to do." And I said, fair enough, I don't want to argue, whatever. The unfortunate part is she was spending 3 times the amount of money on something else on top of the channel. I love this channel. I love what I do with you guys. I love doing all these review videos, sharing my thoughts and my views. I don't feel like I'm very generic in the way that I describe things, and I want to get my side of the things out there to you guys, because maybe you guys don't want the generic yes man answer to your Lego purchases, and I try to be that guy and give you guys the direct review. This has always been a severe passion project of mine. But when we did separate the houses, I did have to start scaling back the channel and doing videos every 4 days, 2 days, or whatever the case may be to get by. When my mom would come back into some of her money, she would step in, kick back a few sets, carry us along, and then as soon as that was over, I was back to doing it on my own again. So between my mom and I, we kept this channel going up until this point. I wanted to make it to at least the 36-month mark before making this decision. And the decision that I've decided to make as of this video is, well, for one, everybody calm down. We are still going. We're not going to give up, even though that the last year and a half of all of the stuff that's happened with my mom, all of her personal decisions that affect this channel and me, all the things that I try to do to support my family, my 2 daughters and my wife, and this channel, no matter what all of that is, to pick up a camera and upload a video is free 99. It doesn't cost anything to do that. What costs the money is what you see in the plastic behind me, the toys I just showed you off of my desk. As long as we find a good balance between physical and verbal videos, we're going to keep this train rolling. So we're not quitting. But I do want to slide into where we're actually at. I know the internet is not the best place to discuss these kind of things, but that's the magic behind my channel. I don't care about stepping outside of the line of where you shouldn't go and getting blown to hell in the comments. There is going to be a major transition going from the 3-year into the 4-year. And that's going to be a lot of probably non-hands-on content. Hopefully, I get hands-on of some of the good stuff. Maybe some of the stuff we'll see here today later on in the video, but only time will tell. I personally have to start my year off by filing taxes, qualifying for a large amount of child tax credit, paying off a car that I should never have had a loan on in the first place, and selling that car and using half of the money to buy another car and half of the money to pay off probably most of the debt you see behind me. And after that, I'm not going back and doing it again. The only way I'm doing it is if I have cold hard cash that can buy the physical sets and I don't need that cash for something else. Because with what's going on with my mom and what's going on with me, any single day now, the wrong thing falls into place. It's welcome to Bricks and Toys from under the freeway bridge. That's how tight things are at the moment. January 1st was kind of our last hurrah. I was already in debt. I sold the Death Star, put that right back into Lego, and I figured, you know what? If this is it, this is going to be it. But you know what? It's not actually it, and we're going to keep going. So that was a little bit of a secret and some dangerous things to talk about, not just because of the comment section, because of who may watch this video, but I'm at a point to where I really don't care anymore. And I think that's the best way to go about things that are really difficult in life, that are stressing you out. Stress, it can kill you. And if you just wake up one day and you say, to hell with it, do the best you can, you might actually feel a little bit better. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple months. And you know what? I'm feeling pretty damn good. I know that everything's on fire, but you know what? I have a suit of fire retardant, and my retarded ass is okay. One last thing I wanted to touch in that's not about money and in the financials and stuff is 3 years of doing YouTube. How do I feel about it? Mind you, I'm not a Lego ambassador. I don't take any sponsorships from anybody. It's been solely me and my mom to get this to as far as we have. I have to tell you guys, I love it. I'm maybe about 2,250 subscribers in on this. I do feel like my growth should be a little bit bigger by now. But you know what? My flavor of YouTube is not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. I am accepting of that. I don't do this to please everybody. I do this because, like I said, I feel like I take a different approach to a lot of people, and maybe some people might actually want to watch that approach, and that's why I do this. I don't get burnt out anymore because I'm not stressing about the financials and maybe getting a Lego ambassador pass and all that and getting sets sent for free. I don't worry about that stuff no more. The powers that be is the powers that will be. And every day when I get to make a video, I'm like, woohoo, let's get on the camera, let's talk, let's share some feelings, and let's see where this goes. After 3 years, to have that attitude, I think we're working at a 10 out of 10. We have made tremendous progress as far as our morale and everything on the channel from just a year ago. And I just say, I'm going to keep on keeping on. And my whole thing is, I'm just going to keep on being carefree and rocking these reviews and telling you guys, yay, nay, and why all the way. I will say the Lego market is a little saturated, and maybe that's why I don't do as good as the others. Maybe if I came up here with some more drama about Lego, and maybe some drama about scams, and maybe some drama about blowing something up, or maybe building a Chinese Lego set to put firecrackers in and blow it to hell, maybe you guys would like to watch that more. But I find that kind of content to be fake. I find that kind of content to be useless, and I'm sorry that if you're into it, I'm into some of it as well, but as a personal standpoint, I want to make everything pretty much fun, yet a little serious, and to be 100% honest. I don't want people watching my channel looking forward to me blowing things up and dropping things and doing weird situational comedy that is, well, really not necessary. So with that, guys, let's now go into the latter part of the video and let's talk about what is to come in February. There's really not a lot to discuss, and let's just get into discussing it by coming over to my computer and let's check it out. To get this started, we have Lego Pokemon to discuss. As we know, Pokemon was taken from Mega Constructs, and Lego is now producing their own sets. And I want to tell you guys, it is very interesting that these first few sets that they have introduced, they're all 18 and older-ish type sets. And that is a very interesting approach to this. Our first is going to be Eevee, set number 72151 for $59.99. And I guess this is not going to come out February 1st. It's going to come out February 27th, 2026. There is going to be a GWP with these sets. Let's see if we can kind of see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it really quick right off the top. But yeah, there is a Kanto type box thing. We'll get to it later. Eevee itself, this is honestly so far the best looking one at the price point. It does have 587 pieces. And as we know, there are some Star Wars sets with that piece count going for $80. So Eevee here is starting out pretty good. It's cute. It's got printed pieces, it looks like. Cannot go too wrong. I like the detail. So far, so good. But then we do go into our first Pikachu set here. This is going to be the Pikachu and Pokeball for $199.99. So we have a hell of a price jump going from $60 to $200 with this. Also coming out February 27th, 2026, 72152 is going to be your set number. This guy is going to have 2,050 pieces for that much. And that seems a little higher than average, maybe. I got to compare it to some things. But I do want to talk about the Pikachu that we see here. Let's get a Pikachu at Pikachu here. So it does look like the ball and Pikachu does come off. The number one thing that I do notice about this set is the eyes. Something about these eyes do not look right. And when we did our review video on Pikachu with the Mega Constructs version, everything with that looked proportionally correct. And I did wonder about stickers and stuff and where they would ruin it at. And everything looks to be brick built as far as colors. Awesome. Prints. Awesome. So they're hitting all the right boxes here. But then they drop the ball right at these eyeballs. And I don't know what the hell it is, but it does not look right. The tail does look really nice compared to the Mega Constructs version, as we can see it going into the back here. Everything here looks really nicely detailed. Everything's built out of bricks. And I think with the Mega Constructs version, a lot of it is done with the printed pieces. instead of brick built pieces. But the eyeballs, guys, the eyeballs. No matter what angle you see it at, you just first thing you gravitate to is that weird brick built structure that goes around the eyes. This set is going to be about 15.5 inches in length and about 13.5 inches in height. And I think the overall design of it is actually really freaking cool. I mean, you cast the Pokeball and the dude shoots out of it. We can see the lightning. We can see the little bit of the ground shaped in a lightning fashion. Awesome looking set here, but that right there, I'm going to want to see the instructions on how that's built to see if they could have maybe done that better somehow. And then in case you were wondering if 60 to 200 was a lot of a price gap, well guys, brace yourselves. $650. $649.99. Set number 72153. It's your Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. 6,838 pieces. And like I've said, all these sets are 18, 18, and 18 years old. So they are marketed towards the adults. They have nothing for the kids at this point, just for the adults. And if you look at this thing, I mean, wow, this looks phenomenal. I have no crap to talk about this other than, what the hell, man? Why is the best set behind a $650 paywall? This is getting into UCS money and collector's edition Harry Potter money, and yet we're coming out the gate with Pokemon like this. I guess we did it with Lord of the Rings too, but wow, guys. I love the flower detail, I love the water detail, the fire detail, which is the main element of all of these guys. You got the flower power over here, the water power, the fire power, you guys get it. It does come in a nice box. You can take the figures off and have 3 stunning figures. I think this is easily the best of the 3, but man, that paywall, I don't know. But you can see how it all comes apart here. Awesome looking set. Again, February 27th, 2026. And that is Pokemon Lego. Not Constructs, Lego, guys. Can you believe that? It is here. We were just talking about it almost, a year ago at this point? And, well, here we are. Now, we do step out of Lego, and now we have botanicals again. We just got a bunch of botanicals for January, and here comes February with more botanicals. This one's going to be called the Flower Wall. It is a $90 set, $89.99. Set number 11503 with 879 pieces. Again, seems a little high for the piece count, but these botanicals, they use a lot of special pieces to make them look this good. Lego has gotten more and more flawless with their botanical builds, and you can see that with this one. Not one I'm running to, but cool nonetheless. You can even hang it on the wall. Looks like that ladder structure is made of Technic beams and that nougat color, so that could be something that collectors may want, or builders, down the road. And then our last big set is the Golden Retriever Puppy, coming in at the first for $139.99. And this is set number 11384 with 2,102 pieces. And I do want to take a quick second here and plop back to the Pikachu and Pokeball, which has 2,050 pieces at 200. So you remove licensing, you have 50 more pieces and $60 less. So that kind of tells you where I'm coming from on the price on that being just a little bit high. Unlike the little bit high Pikachu, this guy looks a little bit rough. This is the definition of what I would expect a Lego puppy to look like in the year 2000 and, well, I'll give it some slack, say 8. Not 2. I was going to say 2002, but 2008, guys. This is what I would expect. This thing looks so freaking studdy compared to the cat, compared to the Dalmatian that we got from the 101 Dalmatians. I don't know why we needed the puppy in the first place when we've already had the 101 Dalmatians puppy. That's perfectly fine, but I guess they felt like they had to do this. I don't see this one selling all that well. The longer you look at it, the worse it gets. It does not get any better. This just seems like a set from 2008. It looks like a huge step backwards. Price per piece, not too bad, but you got to look at this for the rest of your life as long as you own it, and that's where it gets rough. Now, lastly, we do have a little bit of a list of all of these things that I did reference in today's video, and we do have what looks to be a poly bag of an Easter bunny, normal for this time of year. Dumbledore's Office with Harry, poly bag. This one looks kind of cool, as it's got the sort of Gryffindor, the Sorting Hat, and Harry Potter, and probably some type of fox reference here, as well as the memory well, or whatever you want to call it there. A bunch of little references in that poly bag, not too bad. Then we do have a Spider-Man versus Anti-Venom heist poly bag. The really cool one here is the Bruce Wayne and Batsuit, because you basically get another minifigure, which is the Batsuit, and Bruce Wayne, so you kind of get two minifigures in this one poly bag. Only 35 pieces though, but again, I can see this one being picked up, and I probably will pick it up myself. We do have ones from the Minecraft, and then we do have one from what looks to be Sonic, which is the Badnik Score. Here's the Kanto Region badge collection I referenced earlier. This will be a GWP with purchase of any of these Pokemon sets, I believe. Not quite sure on that one just yet. And that is our Lego of February. So guys, there you have it. 3 years of YouTube on down the road. Over 2,000 subscribers later. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel and being there all along the way. It's been a hell of a road, mostly because of people and their faults, people and their stubbornness, I would say. I'm the one with the stubbornness because I will not give up. I love doing this far too much. I would not take back any of the 3 years. The only thing I wish I could take back is the loss. But you know what? Sometimes we have to let go of material objects for relationships and to better ourselves. And unfortunately, kind of like what I said earlier, we're going to be doing that again. I have a list of Lego sets that will be departing the channel, unfortunately, come later this winter, early spring. That way we can try to get our debt deficit from, I think I'm around 32 down to 8,000. And a lot of that has to do with paying off a car early and erasing that interest amount immediately by doing so, and then some smart financial moves of selling and, paying things off. Like I said, guys, I know that I shouldn't talk about a lot of this stuff on the internet. Comment sections are going to go wild, but comments are good for videos, and you know what? To hell with it. My skin is thicker than thick, and it is what it is. But then we have the February sets coming out. I really do like that $650 Pokemon set. I do not have a place for it. And am I a Pokemon fan of $650? That is the question. And I really don't think I really am. If I'm not even that of Lord of the Rings, then definitely not with Pokemon. The most intimate I got with Pokemon was during the 2016 Pokemon Go days of walking around the parks with an app and sharing gyms and stuff with the community and takedowns and battles. That was a hell of a time to be alive. Super fun times. I don't know how many of you guys remember that, but that is not enough to make me go head over heels for this set. I love a lot of the characters. I wouldn't mind having a Charizard off to the side, a Blastoise off to the side, but to have to pay all that money for them all up front is just nuts. Maybe we'll get a buildable Squirtle later on and Charmander, but we'll see. At least we do got the Eevee, which is going to be awesome. I might pick that one up. It's under $100, and by far, with the price, it kind of seems like the best option. I did pay about $50 or $60 for my Mega Construx Pikachu, so price and pieces and all that might be where I want to do a comparison. I really wanted to compare a Pikachu Lego to a Pikachu Mega Construx, hence why I did that back in like October, I think it was. But I just don't see that happening because I'm not buying that Pikachu with that weird visor eye sticking brick thing. It's like, what the hell, bro? And then we have the puppy to talk about. That's definitely a hell no, I won't go on that puppy. So really, there's nothing to pick up other than possibly Eevee. And that won't be until the end of the month. And I appreciate you sticking your tail in my face. It is so nice of you, cat. So with that, guys, I got some new toys to enjoy down here. Me and the old cat here, we've been doing good for the last 3 years. She also appreciates you guys subscribing to the channel and hanging out with her dad. I will see about doing Hot Wheels shorts and stuff because I'm always hunting down die-cast, whether they're from M2 machines or Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels does have a couple different lineups of their cars, from the super cheap toy cars to the more higher end die-cast 1/64 scales. If you guys are interested in those kind of videos on the Hot Wheels, let me know. I would gladly make videos that are like 1 minute in length about those because I have a lot of them. I kind of replaced my Funko collecting when I started the channel with Hot Wheels collecting, and now that's getting a little bit overran in my small house. You kind of get rid of one problem and then you create a bigger problem by doing that. But whatever, I am a toy collector and it is part of the job. So with that, guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video through. Be easy on your comments. I have thick skin. I don't really care about the financial advice and stuff. Everything that I do is on fire. I live in California. The economy already is not that well. As a U.S. citizen, you add California on top of it, it makes it even worse for someone like me. But we're getting through, and we're surviving, and we're not letting this channel go to hell, and that's the big thing. So drop comments down below. And up next on the YouTube channel, not exactly sure, we're rolling over into February. We may go right into the Venador build of the Starship collection that I bought from January. We will see. And on that one, be sure to share the video with a friend, hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching.